Quiggles,
Yes.
before you ask, yes, this is a Jojo episode.
Perfect.
Welcome back to the anime dimension.
Mm-hmm.
First things first. Thank you to everyone who donated for Extra Life. This is a spin-off, probably series, because
Mm-hmm.
now that my eyes have been opened and I get to be Sherpa'd through yet another anime with Quiggles, uh,
Hell yeah.
and it's going to be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But thank everyone who donated. We more than met our goal last year. And to shout it out, guess what? If you guys liked us, we're supporting Extra Life again this year. Goal's $1,000 by November-ish time frame. And yeah, we've already started. The page is already up. The link will be in the description for this below, so that way you guys can oh hey, I liked your thing. I like JoJo. Of course I'll support you.
Hell yeah. Donate to a good cause, y'all.
It's for the kids. We are
Mm-hmm.
we are having a bizarre adventure for the kids.
We're killing some dogs for the kids.
This is without any alcohol. All right,
We're
so first
jumping out of the horse carcass for the kids.
that did happen. Um
We're dressing up as ladies and offering some German soldiers from the 1930s tequila for the kids.
we're teaming up with, oh god, I don't want to say that one.
Yeah.
We're teaming
That's
up with the
why I said,
Nazis for the kids. Oh.
you see, there's a reason why I said German scientists from the 1930s.
Yeah, yeah. They had really good technology. We're ah, you
Oh,
know
that's
what?
going to be great for anybody who has no idea what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is about.
Boy, are they gonna get themselves an education.
Uh huh.
Man, we're posing for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't think that's this one yet, but
No, this one
it's
has poses.
we're wearing scarves for the kids.
We have those clacker balls for the kids.
Oh my god. Okay. Man, huh. Let's jump into it. So, I think first I do have to say, Mark, thank you so much for telling me that the
Mm-hmm.
first arc was only 9 episodes.
Yeah. You guys had
Um
no idea, but like when Chris started this, like he was always just like, "Yeah, I don't think I could ever make it through part 1 because I know it's like 26 episodes and I always get like kind of tired after just like a few and I don't think I could go to part 2 or season 2 after this." And I'm just like, "Whoa there, Bucko. Part 1 is 9 episodes of the
so
anime."
so Crunchyroll, I need you to fix your shit.
No, this is
You have
all streaming platforms that do this apparently.
oh, fuck you streaming platforms. I need you to fix your shit. I I just need you to not. Yeah, so I get to like episode 4 and I was like, I can't do this for 22 more episodes. I cannot do Joseph. I can't do Captain America with
You mean Jonathan?
weird I'm sorry, I can't do Jonathan with weird uh with like Johnny American who's British
Yeah.
with weird Doctor Strange powers, no matter how much I like Led Zeppelin and REO Speedwagon. They're great bands, man. I can't do this for 22 more episodes. And
Luckily, it's only 9.
Quiggles is like, you got 5 to go. You can knuckle down and do this.
Yeah. You've
And
been through
I
how many episodes of One Piece? I know you got this. You've tortured yourself with how many episodes of Naruto? I know you got this.
oh, I have seen all of Naruto. We're not gonna
Including
that's
the
not gonna be an
filler?
episode. Yes.
Oh. Yeah, you can do this no problem.
Oh yeah, we can totally do this. Um Man, because I know everyone does the Jotaro thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the stands, and you and Lev will be in there in the Discord going like, I like this stand, and you're very kind until, Discord changes its rules and we can no longer like censor things because then you can never see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Um and you're like this stand and like blank and its power blank. Chris, don't look at any of this. And I'm like, oh, I want to get
Yeah,
to the cool stand thing too.
it's
But that is
okay. After this episode of the podcast, you can.
I can actually after this episode of the podcast. So to let you guys know, we are going to go from this episode, and because I think they're doing drops of Steel Ball Run in like groups of like 5 or 8 or whatever it is,
Yes.
um, we'll probably jump right into Steel Ball Run because it'll
Mm-hmm.
be one of the few times where I can talk to Quiggles about an anime. Which did you tell me they're on part 14?
No, what?
No, no, no. The manga is on part 14.
The manga is on part 9.
Part 9. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
I might have been having a fever dream and thought you said it was a lot later. But this will be one of the few times where it's like, "Oh, we can just talk about how cool this episode was," cuz I'm a big fan of
Mm-hmm.
heists and chase and car races. And Steel Ball Run is nothing more than Cannonball Run, which is a
Mm-hmm.
great Burt Reynolds flick if you've never seen it.
Yeah.
Um so
Oh,
we'll
you're gonna
probably
love
jump over
part
to that.
9 once that gets animated,
I
like 15 years from now.
Okay, so I'll be able to catch up to the manga
Oh, easily.
before oh yeah, okay, cool. Was this
Trust me, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is gonna be like, n- even though the manga is longer than One Piece, the anime is way shorter than One Piece because they
um
go by like at like fucking breakneck pace.
they they do. And to get into it,
Mm-hmm.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure starts off with a carriage accident and
Mm-hmm.
um somebody coming along to like rob the carriage,
Yep.
and instead ends up waking up the guy who gets is he rescued by police as well?
He's rescued by both. I'm pretty sure he's rescued by both the police as well as like the guy who was like planning on robbing him. He just like ended up not doing so, I think. And the guy's name is George Joestar, by the way. I should probably mention that now. And basically, the entire point is that guy was planning on robbing him, but then like George, like with what he assumed was going to be like his dying words, was just like, "Hey, if you help me, I will help you out and do whatever it is you need me to do later in life. I'll grant you like whatever favor. Just please save me, save my child." He
You will
asks for
get
money.
one boon.
Exactly.
And I'm looking at the Jump comics. So for those of you guys who don't know, because we don't always record this,
Mm,
shout out to Anti Fandom,
yeah.
for being just a wiki page. That way, if I need anything done, it
Mhm.
shows the Phantom Blood cover. I kind of like it a lot more as like a Hardy Boys looking group.
Yeah, it's a really good like, and this is just the art style of the manga at the time. This cover actually gets criticized a fair amount because
Really?
yeah, because it's mostly because Dio doesn't really look like that in the manga.
Yeah. I
I like the
like
look of it still. And like when
like
this was like
old.
redone for the anime, they made it so that way like Jonathan and Dio look way closer to how they do in the anime.
I'm a big fan. Like the Hardy Boys, like it's an era
Hmm.
of stuff that would have been done. So I'm a
Oh
big
yeah.
fan of how it looks. So yeah, and it's Brando. What was his dad? What was Dio's dad's name? I know it was
Uh
Brando.
it was Dario Brando.
Dario Brando. So we kind of get to go see Jojo lives a life where he's trying to be an upstanding gentleman.
Hmm.
And I kind of just wanted them to say he wants to be like a chivalrous knight, but they
Hmm.
keep saying gentleman, and I'm like, eh. Um,
Yeah.
and then you learn that I'm sorry, I lost the guy's name already.
What, Dario Brando or Dio Brando?
Dario Brando also has a son whose name is Dio, who is incredibly intelligent. And like we get introduced to him as Dario is like on his deathbed and Dio's just like reading a book. And I want to say it was like Shakespeare or something. Like it was definitely like, or maybe it wasn't Shakespeare. It was definitely something of like a higher class than you would have given,
Right.
you know, of the time than you would have given to like the common populace. So it did lean to like, oh, he might be self-taught, but that does not mean he is stupid.
Right.
Um, and he poisons his, or he's poisoning his father. I'm like
Yeah.
95% positive. Um, and Darlow's like, look, take this, go to go to the Joestar mansion. He owes me a favor. I saved his life. Um,
Hmm.
and go live with them because I'm dying.
Right.
And uh George, true to his word, is like, you know what? I will take you in, not a problem. And
Hmm.
this is where we get the first real like, oh, I understand Dio's killing his father, but I'm like, yeah, your father's not a good
A
guy.
piece of shit because did we I'm sorry, I was like looking at something real quick, but we didn't mention that like Dio was like expected to like gamble every night to like pay for his like dad's like medicine essentially while he was
That's
sick in
right.
bed.
He like goes down and like plays
Yeah.
chess or poker or something like that,
Hmm.
and he wins. That's
Yeah.
right.
Like Dio's especially like strong for his age and also smart for his age and clever.
Like honestly, like that setup for him,
Hmm.
I was like, I really enjoy when it's like somebody
Yeah.
is. I want to. I prefer a Moriarty
Hmm.
if we're gonna go like a Sherlock reference over like a Doctor Doom from Marvel, where
Yeah.
like Doctor Doom, it's like he knows, or Lex Luthor, it's like I have this grade Sigma Omega intelligence. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay. It's like I understand the anti-life equation. And I'm like, that's really dumb, but sure. And this is just somebody who's like, I'm street smart, I'm well trained, I can read people, and like he knows enough, and it gives you much more of that like that Moriarty where I'm like, oh, y- you're special and you're hyper intelligent. You might not know everything, but you know enough to always be dangerous.
Yeah.
Really like that setup in a villain.
Hmm. It's really cool.
Um,
And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure does do this like kind of dynamic with the villain again, or maybe not dynamic, but you know what I mean. This kind of like setup for the villain again
like a
way
good trope.
later. Yeah, like they do
And
what you're doing again, except like in more ways than one later.
okay, I if it's a good villain, I know the thing is like, and Dio comes back and like
Hmm.
haunts them for like 3 generations.
Yeah.
Um, but so
Oh, sorry, my phone's going off.
you're good.
I'm just gonna ignore the call.
Oh, okay. Um,
Sorry about that, folks.
happens. Dio shows up on the farm or on the estate. I want to call it a farm because it's like a sprawling everything because they're,
Hmm.
Bruce Wayne rich, I guess is
Yeah,
the only way to
pretty
put that.
much.
And first thing he does is kicks Jojo's dog. Just like, oh,
Hmm.
I want to establish that you're a bad, like you're like it's not the like
This dude's the
just because
villain.
you're, yeah, just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean no, you are a bad guy. Got it.
Hmm.
100% got it and heard, respected. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Um like just to like hit the high points and you can fill in anything I might have missed.
Hmm.
Cheats boxing Jonathan. Yeah,
Hmm.
cheats at boxing Jonathan and like goes for his eye with his thumb, which is just a very lowbrow move. But
Hmm.
if you're somebody who has to, fight on a
fight like on a nightly basis against like a bunch of
Yeah.
drunks who you won at poker.
Or, you have to like not only like fight like that, but you are also having to like what am I trying to say? Like he probably also fought for money.
Yeah,
Like
basically.
okay, cool. Like I understand why he would fight that way. He's not boxing for sport, he's fighting to win. Very
Pretty
different.
much. Yeah.
Um so yeah, does that and then, sexually assaults Jonathan's love interest,
Hmm.
Arena Pendleton. And I do have to ask,
Yes.
is that a is that darker in the manga?
No.
Okay. Like
It's pretty much the same in the manga and the anime.
just
There's really
okay.
only one moment of note that's like way that's done way differently and way darker in the manga than the anime, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Okay. Um so for this one does kind of follow the vampire thing.
Hmm.
It's very Bram Stoker,
Yeah.
where there are a lot of critical. If you read the original Dracula, there are a lot of like literary criticisms and papers that are critical of Dracula as like this, like it's blood, sweat, and semen,
Hmm.
and it's like, oh, this is all just allegories for rape. And when you think of like who Dracula goes after and why he goes after the women he does in the specific way, and um the men and how they're like powerless to stop him, I was like, oh, I wonder if Dio is supposed to be like Count Dracula based on
Ish.
how he was written. Who is the writer of this?
Hirohiko Araki
Okay.
for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
And that's what I took out of it. I was like, oh, we're going really heavy into Dracula with this, and it's
Hmm.
very. I was like, okay, we've got a villain ass villain, we've got an
Yeah,
evil villain. First like 4 episodes go,
pretty much.
and
And he
this
does
is
a good job as the villain, let me just say.
he
Like, as much as like I have criticisms of part one, and I'm sure you have plenty of criticisms of part one, Dio is easily like my favorite character of this part. He's just an entertaining villain.
he really is one.
Hmm.
I like being like, oh, he he kills Jojo's dog by like putting it in the furnace.
Hmm. By the way, you see
Um.
the burning body in the manga.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, the anime
Okay.
like cuts to Danny being buried, but in the manga, you actually see the incinerator door open and Danny's just like burning alive on the inside.
Okay. Um. So this is okay. This is where my problems start
Uh huh.
because so we've established that Dio is like this is irredeemable.
Pretty
Like
much.
uh, I understand that hold on one second. I understand that George made a promise.
Hmm.
I understand that he's like but I'm a gentleman.
Hmm.
Jonathan knows that Dio is an evil, toxic piece of shit.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, kissed his girlfriend, like sexually assaulted his girlfriend, kicked his dog, killed his dog,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
The next episode is the time skip.
Yeah.
And it's like, this was them in like middle school, maybe starting high school. The
Oh
next
no.
huh?
Oh wait, no, you meant the first episode. My bad.
Yeah, the first couple episodes, right? They're like middle school, going to high school, like summertime thing. The next episode is like, oh, they're graduating college.
Yeah.
Like years have passed,
Hmm.
and these two are the fucking dynamic duo of the rugby team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, go for it, Dio. You got it, Jojo. And I'm just sitting here going like, dude, he killed your dog and sexually assaulted your girlfriend. What the fuck are you doing playing rugby with him? He also like set you up in front of your father to look like a chump, and like your father like sent you to bed without dinner, which I mean, class A manipulation on your
For
father,
sure.
and your father like I have problems with that as well. Um
Mm-hmm.
the
A lot of people do.
what is there any more elaboration in the manga?
Uh, there isn't really, but it's mostly a case of Jonathan is studying basically the stone mask that is like basically has been an artifact in their living room for a while. So he's sort of been keeping him keeping to himself studying that mask because something we glossed over is that at the end of episode 1 Jonathan and Dio do fight each other, and in the aftermath some of Dio's blood spills on the mask that basically mysteriously has spikes spring out of it after that, and it falls on the ground. And Jonathan and George Joestar, the dad, basically breaks up the fight and goes, "Go to your room, both of you kids," which basically kind of sets up the dynamic that like Dio can't really do anything that he wants because Jonathan does have a breaking point, but at the same time, Dio is kind of untouchable to Jonathan because, well, if he tries anything, then his dad will like go through and just be like, "Jonathan, you're a gentleman. You cannot be doing this to your own brother," kind of deal. So
Yeah.
they basically are getting along, but they're kind of getting along with forced smiles.
uh
It's a weird dynamic, and I will agree that it is a bit jarring to go from that ending of episode 1 to they're now on the same rugby team, broing out essentially. Especially
yeah.
because later on in that same episode, you see Dio scheming up a storm again.
And it's like, because to really jump around, because like this like is it Jonathan's father falls sick,
Mm-hmm.
and uh Jonathan's
Dio's
like,
the
okay, go ahead.
go ahead.
um Jonathan's like, okay, I really can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure it's Dio.
Because
And
Dio's the
Dio's
one
like
who
doing,
gives the medicine.
and it's like, oh, Dio's giving his father the same thing Dio gave his biological father. And
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan's like, okay, I need to go to London in order to like get the cure
Essentially
slash
to figure out like one is Dio actually definitively trying to kill George, and two, if that's the case, how can Jonathan like reverse like what's happening to George?
um and goes there, and we get and like runs into a band of street toughs, including one REO Speedwagon.
Yep,
um
Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
I I am so excited to see what he does with some of these namings, because
Oh, it's great.
it's like, oh, well, and we'll get to them as they come up, because I was so excited, and I think that's been my only like letdown, is knowing what some of the stand names are, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what they do, and it's like their power has to be based off their song or a theme or something like that. Um,
Maybe.
and we don't really get that yet, as far as like this
Yeah.
goes, because like REO Speedwagon's got his cool hat,
Mm-hmm.
but like there's he doesn't really have a power that I'm like, oh, um that I'm like, oh, this is,
This is a reference to their album.
yeah, or anything like that. Like can't find this feeling, no. Take it on the run, no. In my dreams, back on the road again. Maybe there are a few things
Mhm.
like in here, but it's like
For the
those would
most
be
part, you're going to
super
see a
loose.
lot of names that are just there because Araki just kind of had that album lying around. He's just like, huh, REO Speedwagon, I can make that a character. Tom Petty, I can do that too. Who's gonna stop me from making Led Zeppelin a character?
And some of them are really
And
good, and I'm like, yeah,
ACDC.
this is ACD, yeah. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this is really, really cool, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm super duper here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think
goes
more artists should like go for that. I know like certain mangaka do like different like naming conventions. I know like Akira Toriyama is like famous for it. I know the Horikoshi for Hirohaka is like famous for like sneaking Star Wars names all over his manga. Um,
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, but I enjoy how much of a Westabu Hirohiko Araki is, and how he just like unashamedly just puts that like as the naming scheme for now characters, for later on stands. It's
And
fun.
I'm here for it.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's great. Uh, Jonathan takes REO Speedwagon back to like confront the police, to
Hmm.
confront Dio,
Dio.
who has like used the
He's
mask
alive.
now, or uses the mask
Hmm.
to become a vampire.
Yes.
Uh, so
So
they
basically,
have, yeah,
once
go
he's
ahead.
found out, Dio's like, well, I have no other option left except to basically forfeit my humanity. Kills George in front of Jonathan, and then uses George's blood to basically put the mask on himself and basically go full vampire mode.
Is is this where they have the fight and the house catches on fire, or is that another fight?
Yes, this is this fight.
It was cool for an anime fight. I think like the DDT finisher of like staking Dio's head
Hmm.
on like the banister or something, and then the house burns around him as like the most like that. I think that is like one of the like ways that they like try to fight and kill Dracula.
Right, yeah,
Um,
it is.
yeah, really, really good.
Hmm.
Um, but somehow Dio survives.
Like Palpatine.
Oh my
I may
god.
not be the big Star Wars guy here, but I know a reference when I smell it.
You know what? If if I frame the sequel series as like a bad attempt to do a JoJo's Dio Bizarre Adventure,
Oh, I
I
already
think it
say that
becomes a
Last
lot better.
Jedi. I always say that Last Jedi is just like an anime training arc disguised as a Star Wars movie.
I think you're giving it a lot of credit, but I like it. Last Jedi does a lot of things I like. We can go into that another time.
Yeah, we
Um,
can.
but
Or you can
we
with Tyler.
Tyler doesn't watch anime. I have a better chance of you watching it.
I have seen it.
Oh, okay.
I
I didn't
just
realize that you had.
no, I've seen the Star Wars movies. I just don't really talk about it that much because I'm not too big on them. TLDR in this in the midst of this JoJo review, which is getting sidetracked thanks to me not taking my ADHD meds today. I think the Star Wars movies range from kind of boring to they're pretty good. Episode 6 is my favorite. I'm not going to elaborate why. It's just my childhood favorite.
You're fine. Episode 5 is my favorite because I like the snow fight.
Yeah,
There you go. Like,
baller.
not gonna yuck
I
your
don't
yum
hate
on that
Star
one.
Wars enough to be a fan of it. I'm sorry. I'm already a Sonic fan. Argue if that's worse in the comments.
Um,
Anyway,
uh,
we have
Jojo leaves
Yes. To
And
basically try to
honestly,
find Dio, since he gets the news that Dio is still alive from, I'm pretty sure, Erina Pendleton.
yes, she like sees
Mhm.
him or some like heard of someone seeing him. Does he meet Baron von Zeppeli before or after the fight with Jack the Ripper?
Before.
Before.
Yes. And this is
And
where we
that's
learn about Hamon.
I wish Hamon was cooler.
Yeah.
I I wish I wish it wasn't just him like Captain America-ing it and punching things really hard. He kind of just gets Goku's Dragon Punch from GT, which is the only move Goku actually makes.
Yeah. It's
And
it's definitely a first ever battle system, essentially. A lot of part one, it's worth saying, is inspired by Fist of the North Star. So I'm pretty sure something like this, if it was here, it was. My assumption is that it was also like similarly in Fist of the North Star. So this was more or less the vehicle to give Jonathan some of the same powers that Kinshiro has in that.
yeah, I wish he used him better.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying.
Hmm.
I just wish it was better. Um
Yeah. It's more so notable with how, like, not impactful but influential, that was the word I was looking for. It's more so noteworthy for how, like, influential it ended up being, because a lot of, like, different shonen power systems ended up more or less copying it, more or less, in the sense that stuff like concentrating created breathing from Demon Slayer, cursed energy from Jujutsu Kaisen. I would even argue like chakra from Naruto is
hell,
also, and ki from
I
Dragon Ball,
I would go with Yu Yu Hakusho.
and Yu Yu Hakusho, with like its kind of power system where everyone just kind of has like their one thing that they do, that they're capable of doing with like the energy that they get from whatever source it is, and then they just like kind of build attacks off of that one thing that they're able to do. And admittedly, I like Hamon better in part two, which we'll get there when we get there. Uh, but for part one, Hamon is fine. But you can also very clearly tell Araki didn't know what he wanted to do with Hamon, because he bends the rules for it a fair amount.
He really does.
Hmm.
Um, Fight with Jack the Ripper, where Jack the Ripper comes out of a horse
Yep.
to attack Jonathan, and Led Zeppelin's with him, isn't he? Or no?
Will Zeppeli is, yes.
Will Zeppeli is, yeah.
And
Um,
this is like kind of Jonathan's test to see how well he is adept at Hamon.
that's right. This is where he has to like carry the glass of wine. He
Hmm.
can't spill a single drop or break the glass, and if he does that, he'll have mastered it
Yes. And he's capable of doing that.
because he is Johnny American.
Except
Um,
British. He's British.
Except he is, but he is Captain. He is Captain America. What is it? Every time he gets hit, he gets stronger. That was actually mentioned in like the like exposition of the episode where they're playing rugby.
I think so. I don't think that that sounds like a kind of power that Araki would kind of make up, but then admittedly just kind of stop using for a character, which you're gonna see a lot more of later on.
It's like was it the Kizan the death thing
Oh,
um
for Saiyans.
for Saiyans. It felt kind of like that.
Hmm.
Um
Except Dragon Ball doesn't have
and
that concept.
yeah, it is it it was just it. I wish I didn't sound so like defeated with this part. Because like I can see, and we're gonna get to the next episode, and it is, or get to the next stuff, and
Better.
it is so much better.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll admit,
and
I was basically the same way after I finished part one for the first time, where, like, I was just sort of like, yeah, this was okay, I guess. Whatever, man. Do what you want. And then, but it's something that I look back on, and in hindsight, with knowledge of what happens in the later parts, I kind of see more fondly. And I don't want to say it's nostalgia because I went through this part for the first time in 2022.
I didn't realize it was that early for you, or that recent.
Yeah,
I think I
I.
tried. I think. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, I have attempted to start JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a few times before, but either I just bounced off fast or life got in the way and I couldn't keep going on. But 2022 was the year I fucking locked in and did pretty much the entirety of JoJo up to that point, like over the span of a year. So I
And
don't blame anybody for saying that it takes them more than one attempt to get through part one, because I have nowhere to judge.
and it's the same thing where you were like, hey, it's actually good. It's actually, and I was like, okay, and I bounced off a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we're actually gonna get to the parts where I'm like, oh, I think this is where it gets like if
Better.
I have parts of the first season that I really like, we are going to come up to them because we also learn about Overdrive, which is just
Mm-hmm.
like um Joseph, no, I'm sorry, Jonathan can like breathe really good
Mm-hmm.
and do a super move, and cool, put sunlight into somebody, got it, solar flare, cool. Um and then so he beats Jack the Ripper. We get his like overdrive. Is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is the baby scene before or after Tarkus and Bruford?
That is way after Tarkus and Buford.
Okay. Um. So le- uh
But Tarkus and Buford are next.
I okay. I was so excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
So Will Zappelli, so Led Zeppelin, REO Speedwagon, and Jonathan Joestar are like, we have to go find
Dio.
Dio because Dio's an evil asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. No notes. They go to this small town. They run into this kid Poco or Paco who is like
Poco.
being bullied,
Yes.
and they save him, and he's like, I got to get home. He's like, I'm scared, but I'm not as scared as like, because like a farmer comes up and goes, hey man, the zombies are out again. And it kind of felt like the most Castlevania thing I've ever heard,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, hey, it'd be a terrible night for a curse, make sure you get back to your village. I'm like, wait, what?
Honestly, part one of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is just a lot better when you think about it as just Castlevania 1.
Yep. Like,
Yeah,
and you've actually, that is now making me enjoy it more, where I'm like, I've got my cool
exactly.
whip, I gotta fight some zombies, I gotta fight a werewolf, some vampires, some
Just
suits of
whenever
armor.
Jonathan's
Cool.
theme comes on, just imagine you're listening to Bloody Tears instead. Or Vampire Killer.
Immediately, this is okay, this makes it all so much better. um so they go there, they get to the town, night falls,
Mm-hmm.
Dio shows up,
Yes.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. The king doesn't fight pawns." I was like, "Oh shit, you guys aren't even like named pieces. You're just pawns. We're doing some high school DxD stuff here." Um, there's a reference.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
and he summons like I want to say Black Knight Tarkus, but that is from Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But he summons Black Knight Tarkus and Bruford,
Hmm.
um, who were like two knights who were set to defend Elizabeth the First and Mary Stuart, correct?
Yes.
Okay. They were like her personal guard. For whatever reason, they got tricked or duped and surrendered.
Hmm.
And they're like the attacking armor is like, hey, look, if you surrender, we'll spare your ward, and you guys don't have to like live in shame. Um, promise, cross my heart, we will not kill her. And they're like, okay, we have to do this because we have to make sure that that they survive. So they surrender, and they're like, "Joke's on you, we already killed her." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, pieces of shit.
And they get killed, and they're like, "Motherfuckers, we will come back one day and we will have our revenge."
Hmm.
And Dio's like, "Hey, I read your story. How would you like to have your revenge?" And they're like, "That's kind of our whole shtick." And uh behold the battle between it's first between Bruford
And
and
Jonathan, right?
Jonathan. Yes.
Hmm. And that's the one where Jonathan is basically taken underwater, where he cannot breathe, obviously, which means he can't use his hamon, but he has to like
Okay.
get creative,
I
and
think we
he's able
should
to find like a pocket of air just like by moving some rocks around, and
can
he's
can
able to.
you explain Hamon for the layman or those of us out here who are still like, so that's hockey, right?
No, it is not hockey. Dude, I have to deal with this shit during One Piece episodes. I do not need to do this during JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Motherfucker. Never say hockey to me until the next One Piece episode that we're in, because that's when you're actually introduced to it. Anyway, Hamon or Ripple, whichever your translation like calls it, uh, is basically a style of martial art that involves breathing a specific way and harnessing the power of the sun. And hey, what's a vampire like gonna perish to? Sunlight. So therefore, this is basically the natural counter to vampires, basically. So by essentially like breathing in a specific way correctly, you can harness the power of the sun and infuse it into your attacks and use it to basically slay evil essentially, and also just power up your attacks and do some other bullshit that Araki needs Hamon to do basically. And it is our main power system for parts 1 and 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it shows up once in part 3, and then you never hear from it ever again.
the and I like that Bruford was like, oh, by the way, his is his hair.
Mhm.
And also I like the fact that it's like, oh, the vampires are dead, so they have ice powers.
Yes,
And so it's constantly like, what is stronger, the heat of the sun or absolute zero?
exactly.
Um, and that like it in fairness to this, like when they like start freezing, when they start freezing like Jonathan's blood,
Hmm.
and like I'm like, oh, okay, and like like bursting his blood veins, and like call like controlling it because they're controlling ice and everything else. I was like, okay, there's some nifty stuff here. But I think
Hmm.
I just really liked the fact that Bruford was like, nope, I use my hair, bitch. And I'm like, okay, like I
Slay.
see where Gon gets it.
Slay
Um,
Queen.
it was a little weird, you're right, with the water scene.
Hmm.
Um, and fighting underwater. Oh, and I guess this is where we should say, in this walk, they run into Tom Petty or Tone Petty,
Tom Petty.
And
We're
is
just
it
gonna say
Tom?
Tom Petty. So
Okay.
something you're gonna notice a lot more as you're watching, especially during part three, is that the subtitles when you're watching on Crunchyroll do not match up with what the Japanese voice actors are saying because you are watching this subbed, damn it. And basically it's obviously just so that way like the localizers and Crunchyroll don't get sued for using like the names of actual real life musicians that are still alive. So you're gonna see a lot of instances where the subtitles will say Ton Petty, but actually the voice actors are saying Tom Petty,
Okay.
and other instances like that. Like part three is gonna get like very silly with it because you're gonna have characters like say shit like Steely Dan or Rubber Soul, and then the subtitles are gonna say Dan of Steel and Soul Survivor. You're gonna have the Oingo Boingo brothers, but the subtitles are gonna say the Zenyatta Mundata brothers.
Okay. Who was
So
with Tom Petty?
I forget.
Okay. Like it was I thought it was like very clearly like another reference there. Um
I'll check
but then we get so after the battle with
with
oh
Bruford.
Tom Bruford, sorry, it's Tom Petty. I don't know who else it is with them that's there. It is we get the battle with the Black Knight Tarkus.
Tarkus.
Um fucking I loved this fight because it's like, oh, Poco's scared. He's like, but I have to let them in, otherwise they're gonna hurt my sister. And like, kid pees himself, and I'm like, oh, dude, I kind of feel bad for you because like you're
Yeah.
with the heroes, but that hasn't really meant much yet. um, and uh, Led Zeppelin, Baron von Zeppeli, gets in there and is like, okay, I understand what's gonna happen. I found the person that's meant to replace me,
Mhm.
and like carry on Hamon.
Right.
So I'm gonna go in and fight Black Knight Tarkus by myself.
Mhm.
And Tom Petty told me that when these three things happened, I was gonna die.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shit. Like there are there are references. Warhammer 40K, because I'm gonna drag you into that,
Of course.
has a character named Sanguinius, who
Sanguinius.
is he
Also,
is
the
the
character we
angel
were thinking of is Strayso.
Strayso.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty
Um,
sure it was Strayso. It sounds correct.
Sanguinius is it. He is Alucard,
Hmm.
but put him in Master Chief's armor and give him like angel wings.
Oh wow,
Okay.
that's a lot.
Yeah, he wears red armor. He's pretty much a vampire. All of his space marines are vampires, but he is given the gift of foresight, so he's
Mhm.
seen his death. And there are points where like you can't go out there, you'll die, and he's like, motherfucker, fate is a thing, and I don't die here. And I'm like, oh, that's a really hardcore thing to be like, I know when I die, and this ain't it. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like having had that put in me from like all the Warhammer stuff I've like been into over time, and then to sit there and be like this person sit here and like look around and go, oh shit, no, this is when I die. Fuck it, let's go in and throw some hands. I have to make sure Jonathan lives because that's kind of all that matters right now.
Pretty
Um,
much.
and it's a cool battle. Like I
It's pretty
remember
good. It's
really enjoying
brutal
it.
too.
Yeah. This is because I like the ending of the battle is like what Jonathan's hanging,
Yeah.
and it's like you can save the kid or you can save Led Zeppelin,
Hmm.
and he does the right thing and saves the kid.
Yes. Poco.
Um, and yeah, like Poco, but like it's just fuck. Okay, this is
Hmm. And you have Will Zeppeli's like huge death scene in the aftermath of the battle.
Does he give his Hamon to Jonathan too?
Yes.
Okay, and that's how Jonathan's like able to beat the Black Knight Tarkus. I thought I was remembering that.
Yes, he
Um,
does.
he does the Piccolo transfer.
Hmm.
Wish I could stretch my arms. Go. Yeah, and it like Will Zeppeli. I was like, he was such a. I will say, every side character, fucking top tier design.
Oh, for sure. And like I wouldn't even say like part 1 is like where it's at its best for side character design.
Oh, but like, fucking top hats are cool.
Top hats are cool.
Like, none there is not one character in this show that
Hmm.
has a top hat that I'm like, you could lose that. No, no, you can't. You need to keep that on.
No, you have that shit on.
Honey, it stays on in the bedroom. Like
Yes.
that's where it's at.
Like
Um.
Jojo Drip is like very well known for being like some of the best in anime ever. And
Oh,
you hear about that like early on cuz how are you going to tell how are you going to say that Speedwagon is not like S tier character design?
I mean,
You
there's
can't.
like the thing is like their silhouettes. Like the
Mhm.
same guy who like spoiled hockey and what happens to Ace, like in one of his other things, he goes, "Girls will simp my silhouettes." At like talking about Jotaro at a later point, and like even I know the Stardust Crusaders poses in like
Oh, for sure.
the pastels. Like, no,
Mhm.
I look at every one of those characters and go, okay, you look cool. I don't know what you do or what you're about, but fucking the Japanese school uniform apparently found a way to get cooler. I don't know. Um, so
Right.
loved that, and
God, I'm looking
this
at
is
JoJo
where
gifs right now, and I'm just like, damn, character design.
this is where the baby scene happens, right?
Yes, it is.
I need you. All right, so you've told me some spoilers. I'm gonna let you have the baby scene.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
basically. So I'm not like remembering this like uh completely, but I do remember Dio has basically taken over an entire village. He's basically at the tallest building. He's the head honcho, and basically he's just like kind of munching on people for their blood. And there is one woman who he has turned into a vampire who was recently a mother. And I'm pretty sure this is Poco's sister actually. Um am I remembering that correctly or no,
No, I
Chris?
thought Poco's sister was okay.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I'm a liar and a fake and a fraud.
Let me
Expect the
let me
twit
double
longer.
check that real quick. Hold on, hold on.
But
Um,
essentially, you have a woman who recently became a mother, even more recently became a vampire. So basically, Dio commands that she eat her own baby, and she does. In the anime, you just get the silhouette of this woman chomping on her child. In the manga, they actually show it on panel, and they don't shy away from anything. Nothing is left to the imagination there. It is just a woman chowing down on her baby. Like it's like she's a white woman and that's a salad in front of her.
um, this is really hard to find. Sorrowful success. Oh, there it is. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Phantom Blood. All right. Zeppeli recalls his time. Tom Petty. Black Knight Tarkus. Tom Petty. Uh. Oh no! Oh, that was you are 100% right. That is Poco's sister. Like you saying that
Okay,
now makes
awesome.
me remember that.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, Poco's sister is a cannibal now.
Um, it doesn't say if she's the one that does it though, because I thought it was a blonde woman.
I don't. Again, I don't remember. I think it. Honestly, I do think it's just like an unnamed woman,
I
and
am
that's
like
just kind of
98% positive it is.
yeah. But essentially, Poco's sister is with Dio, and basically just kind of to demonstrate Dio's own power. He does like make a woman do that just to have it so that way, hey, if you don't want to like become a vampire and kill your own brother, then do what I fucking say, bitch. Sorry, I do not remember part one. I
No, you're
remember
okay.
I remember certain details uh pretty well, but other details not as much.
uh Dio like tries to seduce Poco's sister and she like slaps him and goes, "Nah, bitch." And then he goes, "I tried," and leaves him to the zombie minion Doobie. I'm hoping Doobie has a brother for the Doobie brothers. Um
Don't worry,
y-
Araki uses this a reference again.
oh, thank God. Um and I think actually like she does get saved
Hmm.
by Jojo or she gets eaten. It doesn't really tell you real quick.
Hmm.
Um Takes his leave, telling the girl that perhaps she prefers the company of his zombie minion Doobie instead. Just before the monster killer Jonathan appears and saves her. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's just a random woman,
Hmm.
and I think for the anime, the part that got me was he did not command her in the anime, or at
Right.
least it didn't look like it. He just goes, "Hey, look, if you take this, I promise none of us will harm your baby." And so she does, and then she's overcome by her own hunger and
Hmm.
is the one who eats her. Like it feels like it was like I want to say it's a compulsion, but not like Dio compelled her. It was like, nope, this is your nature now. This is what you're
Hmm.
doing.
Basically,
Um,
also, my apologies for misremembering. I Chris, it's been like a month since Chris last watched part one, and it's been a while for me.
um, and honestly, for the rest of it, like we get one more fight with Dio. He he beats Dio.
Hmm.
And then he's
Chops
like,
his
you
head
know what?
clean off with the
Yep.
sword to
He's
his
like,
head.
yeah. After and it's like Tarkus was really cool. He
Hmm.
beats Dio. He and Arena do get married. Canonically, they fuck. Congratulations. I did not see that coming. In all honesty.
Well, I mean, nobody
Um,
saw Jonathan coming on
that's
screen.
true too. Um, Man, there's not even an R34 of that. That tells you how sad it is. Um,
Oh, oh,
that tells you how bad part one
brother,
is.
brother, this is no, this is just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's if there's shippers, it's gay people. Just you
Okay,
wait. The next
it
JoJo you get is gonna be the gayest JoJo you get.
yeah, okay, look, I'm if Mark, if Jonathan's your type, I need you to up your standards, man.
No, Jonathan is not my type.
Okay. I'm like, look, people, I'm not here to yuck your yum. Um,
We're gonna get to my type soon. Don't
I
you
feel like
fucking worry.
even if we're doing gay shipping, Jonathan would still use a sheet.
Yeah.
So there's my take on Jonathan. Like, let's just have sacrilege. Gets on a boat with Arena, and they're like, we're gonna go to America because he's Johnny American, but in Britain. And
They just want a honeymoon. Come on,
they
man.
do. Uh,
Let the
Turns
man
out
keep his Britishness.
Jojo, I'm sorry, Dio's one of Dio's minions, who
Mhm.
is a Oriental
Try-
doctor. That is his
yes.
name. Has Dio's head and is like, I'm gonna bring Master Dio back by turning everyone in the boat to zombies.
Yes.
Um, and Jonathan goes down to fight, and Irena's
Dio's
like
severed
given,
head.
yeah, fights Dio's severed head.
Which is
Is
just
like, you
like
know
in a
what?
jar, like it's Futurama.
I do have to say, because like this is canonically the ending for Dracula. Like, he gets killed on the boat on the way to the Americas. So it's
Yes.
like, oh, this is just Bram Stoker. Um, Jonathan being like, you know what, motherfucker? I know what'll stop you. We're in the middle of the goddamn Atlantic. We're gonna sink to the bottom of the fucking sea.
It's raw.
I was like, oh, okay, you understand the assignment. You're
Hmm.
like, hey, he has come back 3 times, and I'm still the first Joestar.
Yep.
Fuck it. I'm ending this. My lineage will not have to deal with this bullshit.
Exactly. Erina basically
And
escapes with basically a baby whose parents were attacked by Dio, and is basically able to get off like on a coffin in America that was just kind of on the boat. Jonathan and Dio die on the burning boat in the middle of the Atlantic. Like Jonathan just caressing Dio's severed head in his arms, knowing, yep, I may have died, but Dio, you went down with me.
it was a very tender hold. And like when the
Yeah.
narrator was putting that out too, I was like, once again, dude, sexually assaulted your girlfriend, kicked your dog, killed your dad.
Look, what do you want him to do?
I
Do you
want
want
him
him
to
to just
spike
like
it like
slice his head open and then just like drink the insides like it's a
I want him to.
cocktail?
No, because then he would have got infected too, and I don't want to deal with that. I I fucking like, I don't know, try to crush it between your thighs like a watermelon. I don't know. Just not what not also be like, "Oh, I need a sheet for this too." Just give me something that's not vanilla and not tender and like, ugh. Okay,
But
JoJo Part 1
part one of JoJo's Bizarre
done.
Adventure finished. It's at the top of both of our rankings for now, at least.
Best JoJo
Get
part that
us
I have seen
so
as of
and
recording this.
reviewed so far. Talk to us in
Okay.
an hour and see if part one is still at the top of our rankings.
I would like you to really take over for this one because, dear God, ooh,
Oh,
Joseph Joestar,
let's fucking go. My goat.
unironically
Yep.
the most American to ever be
For now.
portrayed in anime. And I am taking that over the like My Hero Academia love of the Golden Age hero. Like,
Mhm.
none of them are more American than this man.
Yeah,
Go ahead, take it away.
Joseph. So we open our story in the late 1930s in America, in New York, actually, where we see a big fucking fridge of a man, basically ordering something from a food stand, just like on the street corner, get his wallet stolen by a little kid who runs into a back alley and is confronted by the cops. And the cops basically go, "All right, kid, you best hand over that wallet, but we'll let you escape jail time if you just like give us $20 a week, and we won't beat your face in while you're in jail." And then our big fridge of a man shows up, and we find out that this is Joseph Joestar, the grandson of Jonathan Joestar and Aaron Pendleton. Um, and he shows up to the cops and goes, "Hey, I gave that little kid my wallet as a treat, so you guys should probably leave him alone. I don't know why I'm Christopher Walken right now." Um, but Joseph basically tells the police, "Hey, back off the little kid." and the cops are just sort of like, "Hey, leave us alone, or else you're gonna get our wrath too." And Joseph basically just whips out a bottle of Coca Cola, flips up the top using Hamon, and the top basically just flings off and hits the cop's finger that is his trigger finger on his gun, breaks it, and that freaks out the cops enough that they fucking get the hell out of that back alley. And that is our introduction to Joseph Joestar, the best Jojo.
And the kid is Smokey Brown.
Yes, his name is Smokey Brown.
I'm pretty sure he's a fairly big. Oh God, why should I know that name? Somebody's rolling over in their grave. Um, uh, American singer, dancer, musician, record player,
Mm-hmm.
Godfather of Soul, Mr. Dynamite, Soul Brother number. Yeah, like one of the big like. Oh, I not gonna lie, I
Yep.
was kind of hoping he was gonna have a bigger, really cool role.
Yeah, he really
Um,
is just kind of like a sidekick a little bit.
and only for a brief amount of time,
For
like
yeah,
while
just
they're
for
in New
like the
York.
beginning of this. At the very beginning and the very end. Um
Um,
but yes, we find out that this big guy who just took down two cops without even really trying is Joseph Joestar, grandson of Jonathan and Erina, and Erina is still alive, of all, believe it or not. And we basically hear from Erina that basically Speedwagon, who is also still alive, went to the Aztec temples to basically study more of the stone mask, when all of a sudden Straso, from us mentioning him like 30 minutes ago, uh basically betrayed everyone and became a vampire himself, rejecting his own humanity. And Speedwagon was turned into the Germans, uh the 1930 Germans. So use your imagination for what that's supposed to mean. um so Joseph is basically told, "Hey, be careful of Striso. He is out to get you, basically, because he has basically turned like completely evil. He's a vampire now, and he means business, basically." So we cut forward to Smokey and Joseph basically in a cafe, just kind of collecting as to like what they're supposed to do next. Uh, and we basically find Straso just like in the restaurant, and he pretty much automatically just starts a fight with Joseph. And this fight is great because you get to see a lot of Joseph's personality shine through. Do
all
you want to
right,
like say some things about Joseph right now?
Joseph is the most American American
Why do you say that, Chris?
anime character ever. The guy. All right, so one, I, I have to admit, I like that he like scares everyone out of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hats off.
Yeah,
As somebody else who has used something akin to what Jonathan is going to use, like
Joseph.
Collateral Man, he pulls out a Thompson, if
Yep,
not two,
a
with
Tommy gun,
drum.
just like from his jacket. Like he has like hammer space in there.
And I love the fact that like Smokey's like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do to fight him? Are you gonna?" He goes, "Watch this," and pulls out a gun, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, you know what? That is an option at this time.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that that's an option." And he sits there
Just
and he like,
whips it out. Just
yeah,
open fires at Traso.
I think he hits him a few times,
He does.
and then the guy's like, he's still getting up, and he goes, "Okay, that didn't work. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it not to work, and I was like, you know what, Jonathan, or I'm sorry, Joseph, that's fair. I
Mhm.
wasn't expecting that not to work. He goes, don't worry, I have a plan. And Smokey's like, what? And he pulls out a hand grenade.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Chucks it.
you, you know what? And he's like, I'm still gonna run away though, because if the gun didn't work, I don't know if the grenade will.
Hmm.
And I'm just like,
I will say Joseph uh screaming and running away has been vocal stim for me for a few years now.
it is, I'm just,
Sinister Smokey.
I, I, to go from the most like milk toast character
To the
I
easily
have
the most entertaining one.
to, and I'm just like, did you just go, okay, how was part one received?
I think it was just seen as like all right. I don't
Okay,
know how it. I know, like in the Western fandom, everyone's just sort of meh on part one. I think, like for Japan, it was received a bit better. So, but like to go from like water flavored protagonist Jonathan Joestar to Joseph, who
you're
just
giving him
did
so
what.
much credit with water flavored.
Jesus Christ! I didn't think the man was that bad.
I it Mark, the fact that you're like, oh, if people ship, it's it's the gay community, and I'm like, does the gay community also do the sheet thing where it's sex is only to procreate? Like, I like, what are we doing here? That is what he serves. That is what he serves. Like, he'd be the most confused gay guy ever. Like, sex is only to procreate, honey. That's not how. So we have to use this sheet. Like, I feel so bad for Reina. Like, not because she lost her husband, but I just feel bad for her. Okay, that's an
Prince.
you know what? I'm gonna put a moratorium on those. We're gonna get back to Joseph because God, do I love Joseph so much.
He's genuinely he's so many people's favorite JoJo, mine included. And like I got my complaints about part 2. I have my complaints, but you will never ever hear me complain about Joseph. He is by far my favorite character in this part. And and I will even say right now, cold, ice cold take. He runs circles around Jonathan.
I think we also do need to say Speedwagon has also become like super rich in his own right and has the Speedwagon Foundation.
Foundation, yes. Keep that in mind. It comes back in a lot of different parts.
Um,
So we have the battle between Joseph and Straso basically hit the streets of New York. Straso is basically taking a young woman hostage, and Joseph is basically willing to attack Straso despite this, which he manages to defeat Straso and save the woman, even though the woman is pissed that like Joseph was just willing to let her be collateral.
so I'm not gonna lie because I've seen clips of the next series
Yes.
where it's an older Joseph.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's the
Spoilers,
reporter.
Joseph lives to the end of this part.
Yeah, spoilers. It's the reporter,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, Joseph needs like a strong, independent woman to check his shit. Like fundamentally, if he is straight, if he's gay, he needs a strong-willed man to still check his shit, right?
Yes.
So there were like 4 points in this where I'm like, oh, that's got to be the mother love interest because they've had some things before. Um,
Hmm.
boy, was I wrong every time.
Yeah.
um, yeah, and then the next, and this is also the episode where he and Arena go to have like a dinner, and Smokey's
Mhm.
joining them, and somebody's racist, and
Yep.
Joseph's like, "Hold on, Grandma. I know you said not to fight. I'm not tolerating that shit though."
Which
And
good
like,
on him.
yeah,
Like
I'm
Joseph
like,
just keeps like earning points and like honestly his placement kind of astronomical. Kind of unfair to Jonathan too.
I'm on a moratorium. Um, and yeah, then like after this, it's off to the races to like
Mhm.
go try to rescue
Speedwagon.
uh Speedwagon, correct?
Yes. So we basically go off to Mexico because that's where our German base is. Uh and Joseph basically sees our 1930s German army base uh out in Mexico, and he needs to find a way to sneak his way in, so that way he can basically stop whatever it is the Germans are planning to do. And what is his genius plan, Chris?
That man makes an incredibly beautiful, if not a little intimidating woman.
I know you have like a thing for like women who can kick your ass. Tequila Joseph,
I
smash or pass.
let me hold on. Let me hold on. Let me put this up real quick before we Tequila Joseph. Okay. Jose Cuervo Gold. No. Tequila Joseph. Um wow, the femboy version of it is not what I was expecting. Thank you, Reddit. Um okay, I'm going to say something,
Yeah.
and this is me being very brave.
Hmm.
The anime version does not do him justice.
That's fair. I like the manga version of Tequila Joseph too.
The manga version, yeah, the anime version, like the I get that it's supposed to be like drag,
Hmm.
but I don't know, for whatever reason the like the
The
manga
manga
version's like
version,
he's
yeah,
yeah,
like
I'm like,
he's
oh, the anime
serving.
version, yeah, he, oh god, yeah, he is,
Like
but then
like manga version, you know what it is? It's the wink. Like in with like the facial expression for the manga version, I'm looking at it like side by side right now. The manga version
yeah,
looks more effortless. Like
it
Tequila Joseph like knows he can get you with the
the
tequila.
the the anime version is like hamming it up as like,
Hmm.
I'm clearly, this is a disguise. The manga version is, maybe we come back to this. Maybe I put this in the closet and we bust this back out. And so I'm like, that is such a good version of
It's
it.
so good.
So manga version smash, anime version is gonna be the pass.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Cool.
Would you get a titty mouse pad of this?
Would I get a titty mouse pad of this? I don't want it to be the titties. I want it to be like his arms. You know how like they do the thing where the women like wrap their arms underneath the boobs
Hmm.
to make them bigger? I want the arms to be equally as muscular though.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Like, yeah, okay, like that's what.
I only asked because like as I was typing Tequila Joseph, I got like a Google result for like Tequila Joseph mousepad, and I'm just like, oh, I know what this is.
Ah, I'm okay. I just pulled it up. Um, it's too campy. Like
But
yeah,
like, if you're gonna do something like this, it needs to be camp.
it like, I like the art of it more in this than I like of the anime, but not as much as the manga. And I'm
Fair.
like, like without the arms, like I'm like, okay, like cool, you stuffed your shirt. This looks like okay, pick me, got it. Um,
I will also say for the fighting games, they do have this as an alternate costume for Joseph.
oh, that's been coming up a lot. I like
Yeah.
how it's immediately so it's as soon as Tequila Joseph ends, it's immediately Tharja from Fire Emblem Awakening. All right. Um,
They could have
yeah,
a
no,
split off.
they could. Um, yeah, yeah. If the muscles aren't there, I don't want it.
Fair. I get you.
Cool.
So,
Love these deviations.
yeah. Anyway, Tequila Joseph basically is distracting our two German guards, promising them a fun time with tequila. Uh, but really, he's able to, and this works, mind you. He's basically able to like get past the guards and infiltrate the German base just in time by dressing up as a woman, fucking Looney Tunes style. I don't
I
know if Looney Tunes was like an inspiration, but I feel like it has to be.
I honestly hope it will. Like it. There is this series had like equal levels of violence that I'm like, okay, we're this is unnecessarily violent,
hmm
but then it also was like pulling out a Tommy gun is such like a Bugs Bunny or
like
like a
like
Tweety
Golden Era
Roadrunner.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Joseph just flat out does have that hammer space in there.
Um
So
and
we
go
have
ahead,
Joseph.
sorry.
So we have Joseph and infiltrating our German base, and we find out the thing that they've been working on is basically reanimating the bodies of men who are trapped in a pillar. And we have our first real instance of that with Santana, who basically the Germans are able to resurrect from the pillar that he was trapped in. And he's basically just like this superhuman dude, just like in a loincloth, just capable of just different types of carnage, essentially.
So I have heard I started watching um a big best friends plan. Wooly was playing. It was like it's like a fan game called like the seventh or the eighth stand user,
Uh
where
huh.
you take a quiz and get a stand, and it's like a Pokemon style
Oh, okay. Like the Mystery
JoJo
Dungeon
game.
games? Okay.
No, I will send you.
Like I'm imagining like you're saying like, oh, you take a quiz at the beginning and that like determines uh like what stand you have. So I'm just like
Yes,
kind of imagining like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games because they're like to determine what Pokemon you are, you basically have to take a quiz uh and depending on how you answer, it's like you're a Charmander, you're a Chikorita, you're a Mudkip, you're a Pikachu, etc.
yeah, and so I'm gonna send you the wiki for it so that way you can see it. But and it looks like a Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be over in Discord. Um,
In Discord.
it looks like a Pokemon game, and they talked about the Pillar Men in it, and then
Mm-hmm.
they talked about this rock that if you fucked with this rock, like the rock would hunt you down and kill you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's apparently something else from another JoJo thing.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, I was taking the Pillar Men super literal, where they were like golems, or
Right.
like they were not what I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
I was not disappointed. Like
Right.
coming off of like Dio being super evil
Mm-hmm.
to the Pillarmen. I don't.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It helps that their theme is like really catchy.
Their theme is really catchy, and I was not disappointed. Like I never felt like they were evil. I
Mm-hmm.
was always excited when one showed up. I was always excited for their fights until like kind of the last bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like once again, it was the first battle with the Pillarmen was very much like Joseph's like final like three final battles that he has with Dio, or I'm sorry,
Right.
Jonathan's three final battles with Dio, where it's like, nope, I'm gonna tombstone you on this fucking like like banister, and then I'm gonna burn you alive. I'm gonna cut off your head. I'm gonna like hold you and go underwater with you, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna sink to the bottom of the like. I was like, oh fuck, that's what all of your fights are with these guys. They are
Pretty
all a
much.
final fight that Jonathan already had to have.
Mm-hmm. They they really do like up the stakes in part two insanely well. Just because like you have like a fight with Straso. It's Straso isn't like a weak guy. You're gonna see like later on, Araki does like giving a relatively weak opponent to your first new JoJo of each part, just to like test to like just to like showcase like the new guy's like ability, which is kind of like standard for like a lot of different like shonen anime and manga, which I don't hate, but like I feel like you never really get something like what Joseph goes through like ever again. And it's really good. I love it.
I also really like the like it's not like you get people with broken powers, and
Mm-hmm.
I will stand on business to say that like, hey, Black Clover, when you get down like there are some people with broken powers, and when they flex, it's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But then there are some people with the power of like, I have the power over thread and yarn, and
Mm-hmm.
they're written off as this joke character until they find this red thread that makes a cat, and you learn that's the thread of life and destiny, and they can literally manipulate it. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
fucking energy, but it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, this is you just took this character who's like been this booze hound the entire time and immediately made them interesting, and like made like their backstory and why people treated him this way and why this person was so hard on him is like because they saw the full potential. And I feel like
Yeah.
with this series of JoJo, like I everything felt like, oh, there's potential here for like all of these characters, and then it's like, oh, by the way, Santana,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
He like the we like what he was the herald, right, of the Pillarmen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like not even like he's the guy who he's the messenger. He is literally meant to be shot.
Yeah.
Go ahead, thank you for letting me have my moment there.
But yeah, basically we have our fight against Santana, uh, and we also get a new ally who unexpectedly is from the German army, named Stroheim, who definitely believes in the message that German technology is the finest in the world.
I'm
Um,
glad that that's where they're sticking with.
yes.
You guys had some good tech back in the day. Okay, no notes.
Yep. We're not gonna like unpack. Don't expect us to unpack some of the more uncomfortable tidbits about these Germans, because the story doesn't really do that either. Woofs. Uh,
German tech, though.
German tech, yeah, buddy. Anyway, so it's the combined efforts of Joseph and Stroheim to basically take down Santana because they are the ones who pretty much are the only ones capable of really doing anything. Uh, Speedwagon at this point is just wheelchair bound, and nobody else is really there with them. So it really is just Joseph and Stroheim versus Santana. Stroheim like gets his shit rocked too, because like I'm pretty sure he like loses a few limbs, if not like just gets severed in half and is somehow still able to live. And
Yeah, he
it takes Joseph and Stroheim basically dragging Santana out like into the sunlight to basically kill him.
and I like the fact that it's like they trap him in like a well, so like
Mm,
the water reflects the sunlight back up, and there's like no shade for him. And I was like, oh,
mm.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um, Also shout out to Santana, like dislocating every bone in his body to squeeze through like an air vent, and like with the
yeah.
shutters, he didn't take the air vent off. He squeezed through like a slot of an air vent.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You're gonna
the
see
Germans were
JoJo characters will brutalize themselves just to get like an advantage for a millisecond.
the German characters were talking, and then like he starts looking up, and like we looked away for a moment. What do you mean he's? And it like there were so many things where I'm like, oh, this is the like you guys have no idea what the fuck you're messing with.
They
Oh,
really
this
don't.
is the Pillarmen showing up. Like I was like, okay, Tarkus and Bruford were really cool.
Mm.
Um, the Pillarmen showing up, and I'm like, oh fuck, I cannot wait for more Pillarmen. Like,
Well, we're about to get to the more Pillarmen.
okay, go ahead.
So we later learn that we have to basically go to Italy because underneath the Colosseum in Italy is where the next Pillarmen are, which is and there's three of them. And it basically took Joseph's entire arsenal plus a German scientist to take down just one of them. So we go to Italy and we team up with basically the child of Will Zeppeli, Caesar Zeppeli, to basically try and find our three Pillarmen down below and uh, basically like put a stop to them. And we also know that the Germans are also trying to find the Pillarmen, even though we all know how well that turned out the first time. But I'm just gonna assume it was a different platoon because that's what I remember.
Yes,
Mm,
everyone was pretty much dead. I know that I was hoping they were going to be in Venezuela because of all the, Hitler survived and like went to Venezuela jokes. Um,
yeah. Well, this was before World War II,
yeah,
technically.
sure. Um, I love how much Joseph and Caesar hate each other.
Oh, for sure, it's so
And I like that it's like, oh no, you hate each other because you're both the same person.
good.
Got it. You're really cool. Joseph's like trying to hit on people, failing. Caesar's hitting on people, like dominating. And then
Yeah.
it's immediately like you're hypnotizing them. That does not mean that you're interesting and they actually want to talk to you. Um, I once again, no notes. Really excited for Caesar. Excited for the fact that Ario Speedwagon is like, you
Mhm.
guys need to be friends, and Caesar's like, no, we don't, and he's like, bitch, I will call your master.
And we'll get to that master in a bit, but first, uh our two dumbasses go underground and we are confronted with the Pillarmen who have just been awakened by the Germans. And we get Wham, ACDC, and Cars. And yes, I'm calling them that and not the localized names. Sue me. So,
And I do like that there was that poor Nazi driver
mhm.
that was like supposed to, or I'm sorry, that poor German soldier who like Caesar had befriended because Italy was totally on our side.
Yeah.
Um, the entire time.
Don't worry about it.
Uh, don't yeah. And it's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get married. And and like Caesar's just like, I told you could have gotten the girl, and like I didn't know if there's like implications that Caesar had hit on her too, and there's a bunch of stuff there, and I was like, why are you trying to make me like this German character? Like, just get him there. I think that's like my biggest criticism is like, I don't care about you when
Yeah.
you die, because let's face it, he has to die. You don't really have a name. Um,
Yeah, you have enough death flags.
I'm gonna sit here and be like, who didn't see that coming? Anyway, what are our heroes gonna do?
And
I want you to know that I'm on the
inevitable.
fandom, and it's like the characters in this episode are Caesar, Joseph, Wamu's Nazi victims, then Wamu, and then the rest of them.
In
Uh,
order of appearance, I
yeah,
assume.
it's just I was just looking at that like the victims. I'm like, oh shit.
But yeah, we get confronted by ACDC Cars and Wham, and Joseph and Caesar get their shit entirely rocked despite their best efforts. Joseph breaks out his two clanking balls that are infused with Hammond, but they are not much help in this fight, admittedly. So just as Wham is about to basically wham on Joseph, Joseph basically is able to like talk out of his ass in order to like avoid getting like killed, basically. Saying, hey, if you give me a month to train, then I can rematch you and give you a fight that you will actually remember and not just a curb stomp that satisfies not even you. And Wham is like, huh, all right, I'll take your bet. But just so that way I know you're not just going to run away, takes off Lip Ring, puts it inside of Joseph's heart somehow, and basically tells Joseph, hey, if you chicken out in 30 days, that lip ring is going to dissolve in your heart and unleash some poison onto your bloodstream and kill you instantly. And ACDC also sees this and goes, you know what? That's smart. I'm going to do that too. And does the exact same thing to Joseph. So now he has.
I just I like the idea that both the villains here were like, "Hey, not for nothing, dude," because this is where he's like trying to like sneak away to get to like a mine car or something
Yeah.
to
And
lure
it's
them in there.
another Looney Tunes thing where he's only like inching closer whenever the Pillarmen are looking away from him.
I loved it. And
Oh, chef's chef's kiss.
I like the fact that the Pillar Men like we know that they're tied to the stone mask,
Mm-hmm.
but like by the way, do you know the German soldier's name?
No,
Mark.
son of a bitch. I don't claim him. I don't claim him.
um because like he like the guy doesn't the Pillar Men don't even
Mark
acknowledge
spelled
him.
with a C, I assume, right?
No, well, okay.
Fuck you.
They
You
didn't give
could
him
have
the
lied
French
for
spelling.
me.
But like the Pillar Men like walk through him and
Mhm.
absorb him. Like they are they consume,
Yes.
but it's not like the primitive consumption that the stone mask vampires got, where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, bitch, I eat people. This is
Really had to
no,
sneak
they
that one in there.
come on. Um, they they like just absorbs, and I'm like, oh my god, I wonder if this is where like Boo got it. Like
Mhm.
just like, nope, you touch me and like you throw a punch, and I am literally like I am consuming you on impact.
Oh, Majin
Unless
Buu.
you have Hammond. Say again.
Boo from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Boo.
I
Yeah,
just got that. For a
BUU.
second, I thought you were talking about like Boo from Mario. I'm just like, when does
No.
Boo does that? And then I'm like, oh, Majin Buu and Super Boo and all that.
Um.
So Joseph has two wedding rings of death inside of him that are gonna turn him into the red ring of death in a month. So the two of them basically, and by two of them I mean Joseph and Caesar, they basically go to Caesar's master to train for the next month. And their master is none other than Lisa.
I am
So you
so
have to say,
sorry for my comments during Extra Life. Um,
wait, what comments?
oh, I had met. Oh my God, they were literally called the engagement with death, the wedding rings.
Yeah.
Oh God, you
You
literally
can't get
weren't
more
pulling that.
yaoi than that.
No, you cannot. Um, so I like strong women. If you've ever met my wife or watched an LP, um, my
What?
wife is a very incredibly strong, independent woman. And it's one of those things where I see a strong, independent woman in anything, and I'm immediately like, yeah. And I said earlier that um Jojo really need or Joseph really needs a strong woman to put him in his place. And I was like, you know what? She says she's older, but what is anime older? Like he's what 18 and she's like a spinstress at 20 something. Um and I was like, that's who I'm gonna ship.
Oh, you must have said that while I was away.
No, you were there and we're like, don't. You literally looked in the mic because I remember Lev was talking to us and you were
Oh.
like, don't tell him. Don't tell him. And I was like,
Oh,
okay.
right, I was like that. Okay, never mind.
And
At least I
I
was
was
aware of
like,
what was going on, and I was just like, okay, chat, nobody tell him. Because you know what? That is funnier. I applaud past me for that.
and I was like, oh,
You were thinking that she was gonna die, right?
yeah. I was like, man, I was.
Do we just want to rip the band aid off for the people who are not in the know for what I'm talking about?
Nope, we can get there when we get there. I had to get there. Anyone else who hasn't watched JoJo and for whatever reason is listening to our takes on it in this episode, they can sit here and wait like I did.
uh, would you say it again for the kids?
That I think that
That that
Lisa and
that Joseph and Lisa is your OTP.
I think they'd make a great couple
Yeah, for the kids.
for the kids. Oh, God.
That's gonna be the new bit with all of us now. Just like the most cursed shit, but we're gonna say it for the kids.
But also this podcast is because of Extra Life and the amount of money we raise next year. And we have currently already started our campaign for the coming year, which will be in the bottom of this episode. So please, if you do want to actually do some good for the kids, it supports the local children's hospital of VCU in Richmond, Virginia, right next to where we live. So
Hooray.
for the kids, go
For the
ahead, take it away.
kids. Alright, so we basically have Joseph climbing up a slimy pole first.
Am I supposed to? Am I like?
Getting down and
Okay,
dirty with a climbing a pole.
climbing a pole with a lot of ooze
Mm-hmm.
coming out of the top and covering it.
Yep.
Okay, quick sidebar.
Yes.
This is when I was watching this,
Mm-hmm.
and my lovely wife, my lovely Mrs. Play, love of my life, love her to death.
Yeah.
She comes in, and I think the opening kind of changes here as well.
Really?
And I think the opening was slightly different. Like the balls were more the clackers were more prominent. And she
I'm
sits
not
there and
sure of that.
she's watching this and she goes, and she's like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey," and she's like, "Anime for Mark." I was like, "Well, I mean, I also." And then the clacker, she goes, "Two balls, really gay, definitely Mark." And I
uh
was just like, "That is, you can't say that." And she goes, "Who's the one who recommended this anime to you?" It wasn't Nick, and I know it wasn't Tyler. I was
Goddamn.
like, it is a very homoerotic exploration of men.
Buddy, you
And
haven't
then
gone to the homoerotic shit yet.
they tried to climb the tower with all the ooze. And 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 my wife goes, "Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs and play a game," and leaves. So once again, my wife was like, "Oh, this is a Mark anime."
Honestly, if over the top out there shit has to do with balls and is very gay is the me coded anime, then I think I have a good taste in anime. Is all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
You salute the gayness that's in your anime because that's what makes your anime go 500 episodes.
it,
One
yeah, it
Piece would
really
not be
does, doesn't it?
where One Piece would not be where it is now if it didn't have Zosan. Is all I'm saying.
Naruto and Sasuke canonically kiss. I
Mm-hmm.
think at least twice.
Yeah, and
Okay.
if you take Bakudeku out of My Hero Academia, you're getting a My Hero Academia with nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically have Joseph, and I should also mention Joseph has to basically wear a mask over his face that controls his breathing, so that way he breathes in a way that maximizes his Hammond use at the most efficient rate.
Which, when I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, she's like making him do the most intense cardio ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is a thing to like if you're training for like different runs, like when if you go hiking or something and you go out
Mm-hmm.
to Denver, like Mrs. Play and I have hiked the Appalachian, like parts of the Appalachian Trail a few times,
Yeah.
and we can hike that pretty easily. It's not it like we'll get hot and sweaty, like it's still
Mm-hmm.
strenuous, but then you go hike in like Denver, that's miles higher than the Appalachian Trail, and the air is thinner. You actually, they'll be like, you need to go there, you need to climatize, and you need to like walk around the town for like a couple days to get used to breathing that. So I was like, this is actually a really cool training arc.
Yeah.
Like probably if we're going on like a fundamental level of what are you trying to accomplish, this arc for like like training of like, hey, you kind of need to go through this faster, you're already pretty strong, your cardio shit, I was like
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10. Like it felt, it didn't feel rushed, and it felt like I don't know, I just I think I
Mm-hmm.
just really enjoyed
It's a fun little
how the arc
training
went.
arc. I kind of wish we honestly had more time spent here because I do enjoy Joseph and Caesar and Lisa and their maid Susie Q, who we'll talk about a bit more later. But
Suzy Q.
yeah.
Oh
Uh,
god damn it. Go ahead.
what did you just realize that was a music reference?
No, I knew it was a music reference, but I didn't sing the song. And the second I sung the song, I'm like, oh no, it was right there.
Yeah,
Well,
but we
that
also need
autism didn't
to.
trigger.
But we also need to talk about the Redstone of Aha because this is where we get introduced to that. So basically, it's a redstone that's a necklace that Lisa has, and we find out that it's a stone of great power that Cars, Wham, and ACDC are basically after. And by obtaining the Red Stone of Aha, they will turn into the ultimate life forms.
Aha.
Yeah, get your Sonic the Hedgehog reference out there in the open,
Oh my
Chris.
god, that is a Sonic reference.
Yeah. Also,
I
I
was
don't
like, I
know
was
if
like,
you've
that's a.
seen the JoJo parody that Team 4 Star did, but they do actually just go full blown into Shadow the Hedgehog there.
I have not, but that will be on my list to watch. Um,
So we basically have. We're gonna fast forward a bit. We're at almost 2 hours.
we
Uh,
are.
but we have uh basically a week until basically the Joseph and Caesar have to confront the Pillar Men. But one of them kind of arrives early for the final test that Joseph and Caesar have to go through. Caesar has to fight Mencina, and Joseph has to fight Loggins, but unexpectedly, Loggin dies at the hands of ACDC, who now is just Joseph's opponent for this final test.
Okay. I I like the idea real quick that
Mm-hmm.
so Kenny Loggins and Jim Messina, they did like you would know them from a few songs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Highway to the danger zone.
Yes, exactly. You know them for Top Gun. I like the idea that AC/DC killed Kenny Loggins and Jim Messina and like became more popular with their like electric, harder style of rock. And they're
Mm,
Pillarmen. So I just kind of
yeah.
think that that's a funny. If that was the poke in there, that's a good poke.
I don't know if it is or not, but like honestly, I'll take it. I'll accept it. So Joseph fights ACDC, and basically he has to use his hamon in a very creative way. The way he does that is that he's actually wearing a beanie throughout the entirety of this fight, and he slowly just lets the thread on the beanie just kind of fall down on like the battlefield where they are, which is basically just a bed of spikes that they have to all balance on. And once the beanie is basically all but gone, Joseph basically uses his Hamon to basically transfer his Hamon energy through the entirety of the thread, and that ends up defeating ACDC. Except not really, because ACDC is basically like a parasite now that attaches to Joseph's back, but then ends up transferring over to CZQ.
After Joseph spies, and once again looking in on a attractive woman as she's taking a bath.
Yeah, because Lisa was basically just like relaxing in a hot tub, or no, her bathtub rather. Uh, and Susie Q, who's just like kind of the maid of the house, was supposed to like come in to just like give her her towels, but oh, Susie Q is being possessed by ACDC right now. So Joseph and Lisa and also Caesar now have to basically fight ACDC without harming Susie Q. And you kind of
And it
figure out
was
that ACDC has also taken the Redstone of Aha and basically shipped it out somewhere else.
Susie Q gets her face cut up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph, Caesar, and Lisa are like, "Hey, we're gonna go do that." And Joseph is like, "Hey, you'd be really pretty if your face wasn't cut up because you were like possessed by an evil, fucking vampire cannibal man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so maybe if you're pretty, I'll come back." And I was like, "Wow, that is like the most asshole thing."
Yeah.
And you're saying that right there in front of the woman I'm shipping you with. I really wish you would stop, like, kind of flirting with other women.
Come on, Joseph, you're supposed to fall for Lisa Lisa.
It makes so much sense. Um, and we kind of just like because I know you said we're like right at 2 hours. Um, fight was really cool with that.
Yeah.
The they all take off to go after them. We get Caesar's backstory.
Hmm.
Um, which I was expecting Baron Zeppeli to be his father,
Right.
but it was actually Baron Zeppeli's kid.
Right.
And it was one of those things where like I actually just reading the fandom, I was like, oh, this is I thought you were mad at Baron Zeppeli and therefore mad at you know at Joseph because that's kind of his like his family lineage's fault.
Yeah.
Um, and he's like, I had siblings, I had this, I was a street like a street kid,
Hmm.
and I got to punch my dad in the face because my dad was trying to keep me safe, and yeah, that was
Yeah. It's
that
just,
that that
it's
was
a
pretty
pretty
much his
good,
thing.
yeah, it's a pretty good backstory. Um, but we basically go to Switzerland, where basically we have to confront the Pillarmen yet again, and also the Germans are there, and they're on our side, which is weird to say in
Stroheim's
1939.
back.
Stroheim is back, and he proves why German technology is the best because he now has a Tommy gun just like in his stomach now.
I was not expecting German android, but I'm
Germandroid,
kind
if
of
you
glad we
will.
got German android.
A Germandroid.
A Germandroid. Um,
So
I
basically, it's them against cars for this fight, which basically we still have, which is basically just a struggle to get the Redstone of Aha back. But in the end, Joseph basically puts his life on the line to get the Redstone of Aha, which he does, and Caesar's basically able to help him like get out of basically a ravine, essentially. Which we're glossing over a lot right now, but there's it's just really fun fights, and I at this point I just want you guys to just watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure if you somehow haven't already. We're 2 hours into this. Be a JoJo fan already, coward.
as somebody who like bounced off of it, and I'm constantly like, if you can't get into something in 4 episodes, then by all means drop it.
Hmm.
Um, that being said, if you were to start at episode 10, I don't think I would be upset with you. If you were to be like, okay, I'm gonna start when Joseph comes in and skip over Jonathan because, like I said, it's Captain America, shitty stepbrother, and they fight a lot, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you get to some Looney Tunes stuff, but the Pillar Men being, and we're glossing over a lot of it because there's so much that's just like, yeah, they fight. Okay, he does some interesting things.
Hmm.
Um, once again, we've got another Zeppeli that like oh, we haven't gotten there yet. That's where we're going to next.
Right.
Um, they're
So
like, oh, go ahead.
so basically, once we have our Redstone of Aha, uh, Joseph Caesar and Lisa Lisa kind of take refuge in a local hotel, essentially, to basically recoup and talk about their plans to take down both Wham and Cars. Because they do need to like figure out what their game plan is for that. Uh, they decide, well, Lisa and Joseph decide that it's probably best to wait a day before they actually like plan out an attack. Whereas Caesar is very eager and says, "Hey, time to strike is now, you guys. Right here, broad daylight. They'll be weaker. We'll be fine." and basically storms off because of it, even though like Joseph and Lisa both agree that is not the best idea. And so we get uh Caesar going off to a nearby mansion, which is where Wham and Cars are, and we get uh one of the best fights like in the series up to this point, Caesar versus Wham.
Yeah, I was quite I was quite taken aback by this,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that one of the things is like, hey, Joestar men die young
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like what is said, and that's like the big worry for his like Joseph's grandmother is like, hey, die young. It's kind of terrible. Um,
Yeah,
I was not expecting like
the
another
Joe
like,
Bros.
oh, yeah, like, oh, Caesar's also gotta die. To like, I was just like, really? I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
Joseph's gonna come in, they're gonna fight and beat him together, and maybe Caesar will be like a little, no, okay, no, that
Nope.
is,
This is a one-on-one fight. I should also say Caesar attacks using Hamon infused bubbles, which is really cool, and you see that a lot in this fight.
yeah, it's a weird power, and he uses it a couple other times. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
there's something fun about it,
Mm-hmm. This is
because I
also
think you can
not going to
also.
be the last time you see a JoJo character with bubble powers.
I'm honestly I'm glad for that. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a Monster Hunter dragon that fights you with bubbles, the
Yeah.
Mizutsune, and it's really cool to have oh, like it like I don't know. I want to see a
Mm-hmm.
lot more with this because it's just a fun, weird, zany power that
Yeah.
I would have if you would have said in part one that there was someone with bubbles, I'd be like, oh, that's dumb. But after like the first three episodes of part two, no, no, that okay. Let's see what you got. Let's see what we can do with this.
Just wait till you get to part 8 and you get the main character whose stand is soft and wet and uses bubbles to attack.
All right, I prefer hard and wet, but soft and wet. We'll do what we have to do. We'll make do. We'll figure it out. Um,
Hang on, I'll send you a picture of soft and wet real quick.
and it's really like, and honestly, Zeppeli dying was soul
Mm-hmm.
crushing because I was like, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like soft and wet's design. I've seen that
Yeah.
before.
It's
I
really
think that's
cool.
in like the Battle Over Heaven game or something like that.
Yeah, this is. I'm pretty sure this GIF that I'm sending right now is All Star Battle,
Yes,
which
that's the
is
one I'm thinking of.
yeah, but it's really cool. It's like a bubble, and like when it pops onto somebody, like it can steal like one of their senses. It's really cool.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Like the first time you see it used, it turns somebody's eyes into rocks.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds like body horror.
it is a little
I'm
body
excited for that.
horror.
I'm excited for that.
Anyways,
Um,
yeah, Caesar's death is basically the most tragic thing that you see in this series, which is an even bigger insult to Jonathan.
um, I do like that once again. Caesar's like is like left something there and is like, by the way, here you go. This
Mhm.
is this is this is all the Hamon I have to give you.
Right.
Um, and
Because
does
the last thing he does is take the lip ring from Wham, which has the antidote that Joseph needs to get the ring get the ring off of his heart, and he basically ties his scarf to that not his scarf, his bandana to that, and basically keeps it in a Hamon bubble for Joseph to find.
Yeah, I I liked that. I thought it was tragic. It hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I like that Joseph goes into the next room and is like, by the way, I have the cure, but I haven't beaten you yet, so I'm not gonna take
Mm-hmm.
it. I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit, like if that's not the most like,
it's
hey, I'm
honorable.
he's like I took
It's
it as,
honorable and
hey,
confidence, honestly.
I was like, oh, you literally just walked up to the pillar men and went, no balls, no balls underneath those loincloths. And I'm like, fuck
Yeah,
yeah, you did, Joseph.
fucking love this dude so much.
That's how you impress the woman standing next to you.
Yeah.
Um, to
Yeah.
which then they go, hey, we're gonna have two fights
Hmm.
to decide this. The first fight is a chariot battle between
Joseph and Wham.
Wamu and Wham. Or I'm sorry, Joseph and Wham.
I'm not gonna
And
get picky if you say Wamu. I'm just gonna say Wham, just so that way I can get people in the comments going, "You're supposed to say Wamu."
and then the final one is going to be Lisa versus
Cars.
um Cars.
So starting with Joseph versus Wham on the chariots,
Coolest.
which is a super fun fight, honestly.
I think it might be my favorite anime fight.
Wow, in all anime
Like it,
or just here?
I when I say favorite fight, I mean like actually an interesting concept
Mm-hmm.
that like had because like Joseph cheats and does things to like pull ahead and do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Cars is like he thinks it's a fucking race. It's not.
Yeah.
And there were enough little things in there that I'm like, like it was when I like, and the reason I'm going to say is because it's so interesting and subversive because we've had like a damn near wrestling match, we've had boxing, we've had um guns, more guns in a grenade. Bitches love cannons. Like we've had all of that, and then this literally goes to, oh no, dude, this is a chariot thing, and I'm like no other
Yeah.
anime I think has subverted because I was like
Mm-hmm.
chariot. Oh, you know what? I liked Bruford and Iron Tarkus, like the knights doing knight things with like weird hair powers. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do? And I'm watching this and I'm like, this is so. And the fact that it's like, oh, just a little bit of your Hammond, you'll be able to control the undead horses.
Mm-hmm.
But for Wham, he actually has to use his strength. He can't use Hammond to just make them do whatever.
Right.
And he's fucking handicapping himself
Mm-hmm.
to be like, yeah, I'll fight you, and you said no balls, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, ball.
fine, use your magic powers. I'm gonna do it with my muscles.
Mm-hmm. It's so good. Like honestly, I act like I am impressed of you saying like, "Wow, best to fight in anime." I more or less agree. This is a really really good fight. Like I don't know if it's my favorite fight in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, having like read the entirety of it, but it is high up there. Like it is like from the first two parts, it is definitely like my favorite out of all of these. Like even the fight that we have not yet covered yet that comes after this one.
And I think it's just so interesting
Mm-hmm.
compared to like any like Dragon Ball, like but where like he does this and then like Rock Lee and the taijutsu and like dropping the
Mm-hmm.
weights, and I'm like, like don't get me wrong, the weights coming off is a hype moment.
Yes, it
It will
has
never
aura.
not be a it will never not be a pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Piccolo, all the weight's coming off, but the thing is, like, they're still within the confines of like, okay, they're gonna do martial arts and they're gonna use superpowers.
Yes.
And this is like, nah, motherfucker, it's a chariot race.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch Ben Hur. And I'm like, and the entire time I'm like, okay, there are more parts, so and I know this guy lives,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, but this is really like really gripping and very
Mm-hmm.
interesting to do.
Especially with like how down to the wire it becomes, because even like as our characters can't really race on the chariots anymore, even as like the course like catches on fire, and even as Wham loses his eyesight, it still goes on, and you're still like kind of at the edge of your seat of like, oh man, which one of these blows is going to be the one to do it? And it just like it keeps you tense the entire time, and the feeling that you can't just unclench your butthole until it's actually over.
And in in all fairness, if the season would have ended, like I feel like this was such a high,
Mm-hmm.
and then like to me this was the climactic fight.
Yeah,
Everything
I
else is
agree.
everything else is a falling action.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think of course Joseph win. I don't even remember how Joseph wins, but I remember he wins.
He wins. You want to know how he wins? He basically uses a Molotov cocktail by lighting the end of Caesar's bandana, and basically is able to light Wham on fire and kill
That's
him
right.
that way.
Yes.
I say Molotov cocktail, it's more like lighting a fuse on a bomb. It's
Yeah.
it's really good, and it kind of does show that like, hey, even though Caesar died just like a couple episodes ago, he was still with us in this fight, and he gave it all till the end with us.
And he's because he like he no because he like takes he like drinks alcohol or something
Mm-hmm.
and is like gets like the wind knocked out of him and the vapors and then Whamu's still absorbing them.
Yeah.
And then he also gets the thread in there. Yeah, and that's how you're right. Yeah, and it was, and I like the fact that it was like he's like, oh no, I went out honorably, and I'm like, oh, that's like cool.
Mm-hmm.
I I really
I
really
wish
like
this was
that.
the last fight of part two, because I think it is just that good.
The the final fight,
Which is Joseph versus Cars, where
uh,
whereas Wham was somebody who fought and died with honor, Cars don't believe in that shit at all. If he
and
wins, he'll take it. We take
it's funny
those.
because Joseph is the same way,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like Joseph, the difference is sport. Joseph is always a good sport and will do it for the sport of it.
Yeah.
Cars is just like, no, motherfucker, I win.
Yeah.
And
I decide when I win, and I decided that I win right now. Because we haven't really talked about Cars versus Lisa Lisa, because it's like barely a fight. Because
and
he
that was
basically,
disappointing.
yeah, he basically just one shots her, and that's it.
And it's like, oh, she's the strongest Hammond user that's like ever been. She's trained all of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph is creative with how he uses Hammond, but
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he's particularly good at it.
Yeah.
And here we have someone who should be creative and good at it. And it,
All I'm gonna say is that, remember when I said that Part 7 is a reboot? They also reboot this fight, and they do it a lot better.
oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with
I look
like
forward to
different
that.
characters, but like still same idea, and it's like the best fight in the series. I'm not gonna lie.
The yeah, so the fight happens. Strawheim comes back. They end up like infusing. Wham gets the. I'm sorry.
Cars
Cars gets the
gets the
stone.
Stone of Aha.
Becomes the perfect being.
Mm-hmm.
UV light no longer hurts them. They learn that they can like reseal Pillar Men in UV light.
Yeah.
Um, and like nothing works. Um, and and so it's the perfect being, and they're like, okay, well, how do we kill him? Well, what could kill him? And they're like, hey, what if we dropped him in a volcano? And like Joseph does like the runaway thing again, like
Mm-hmm. Gets
gets
in
in
a
a German
helicopter.
plane. I think it was a plane.
I think it is a plane, but
It's
whatever.
a plane.
Mhm.
And Cars is like, I'm gonna chase you down. And they're like, hey, there's this fucking dormant volcano over there. What if you dropped him in a volcano?
Yeah,
And I was like, cool. You know what? Fuck, lava would kill most things. Like,
pretty much.
got it. And it does this whole like bait and switch where it drops you in there, and then it's
Mhm.
like, nope, he's too smart for that.
Yep. And he's able to cut off Joseph's hand, like even while being submerged in lava. It just does not work on him. It kind of does feel like a playground, like, nah, I can't die from lava kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I get it, ultimate life form. You gotta try harder than that in order to kill it.
I mean, the last one, when it fell through the atmosphere, may or may not have died.
Yeah.
We don't know if he was a clone in the later games, but
Well, we do, is the thing.
was he a clone? I can't remember.
No.
Oh, but he also had a temporary MacGuffin that could still work.
Yeah.
So this is just like no, no, that doesn't work on me. I can do science. Like he does science, and they explain it scientifically, and I'm like, oh. And once again, my wife comes back upstairs. She goes, oh no, scientifically that makes sense. It's bullshit, but that does work like that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. Um, he's a fucking Aztec. We don't. Well, did he come from? Because they explained where they came from, and that they
Hmm.
became like cannibals and vampires, and then they were like kicked out of their village and created a village of
Yeah.
themselves, and then
They
they were
don't go
like all,
into that much detail about it, but they do, like, say that, yes.
and then they like all revolt, and like it big fights between all the cannibal vampires, and the four strongest
Hmm.
are like, we're gonna go do this again in Mexico, Central America, um, and yeah, I'm just like, at no point does it make sense that you would know any of this.
Right.
Cool.
I guess you
So
would, like,
Joseph,
notice when, like, he drops into the lava and is just sort of like, hey, this isn't actually burning me. Okay, cool. Laser. JK, not dead long. And then, but I do like how he is actually defeated by, like, the volcano erupting and him being grabbed by Joseph's severed arm and being choked out while also being launched up into space and basically being frozen solid, essentially, to the
I
point where he
yeah,
can't
like
think.
Joseph literally like throws him into space. Um like the caldera explodes, they're flying up on a rock. The rock gets super high. Joseph is like, I'm also going to kick you. Rider kick. Cars goes into space. And is he's turning back to stone, or is he freezing?
I always read it as he was freezing because once you're, like, in, like, outside of the Earth's atmosphere, you do kind of get that freezing temperature. So basically, you're essentially just frozen solid with Joseph's severed arm just, like, choking you out.
And I like the fact that it's like, oh, he can't heal himself, or he could heal himself fast enough, but he's still freezing over.
Hmm.
But he can't manipulate anything because there's no air in space, so none of his powers matter.
Hmm.
And it's just
So he
like,
can't really
and
do anything except for think, and even then, after a while, he just stops thinking. I think that's cool. I enjoy, like, fates where it's like you don't die, but you kind of wish you did die, and that's,
this
like,
is a
a
fate
really
worse than death.
essentially, yeah.
Um, so yes, I like it. It
But you,
felt like
yeah.
jumping the shark of, hey, Jonathan's sacrifice and how cool that was?
Hmm.
What if Jojo, or what if Joseph did it in space and then lived?
Because he does end up living it. even though people at first don't think he does.
Which, and I'm sitting there going like, oh fuck, like maybe I was wrong, and the Joseph I saw earlier is like another sibling thing,
Mm.
and like it's just another like his long lost. I don't know. Um, and so fast forward, everyone mourns, and they're like, man, Joseph, he was an all right. He was a pretty cool cat. I'm gonna miss him. Um, Turns out Lisa is his mom,
Yep.
and like his father discovered his father was a officer in the Royal Air Force or the American thing,
Hmm.
discovers like corruption to use the stone mask or whatever the fuck in the American military. That seems very American military thingy for me to say that they're gonna do.
Yep.
Um and like she he gets sent on a suicide mission. She goes into the general's office and is like, "Hey, you're a vampire." And he goes, "Yes, I am." She goes, "You know what kills a vampire? A stake through the heart. It kills most things." And like kills him. And they're like, "Well, you can't be here. We know that you're right, but you still killed an American officer. And how are we gonna tell the world that he was a vampire evil thing? They're just gonna see you killed an American officer." So she's like, "Cool. Tell my son I died. With his dad, and I'm gonna go over and train in Hammond and live in Italy because they're not gonna turn me in for killing an American officer because they weren't. I mean, they were always on our side. They would have if they would have known she was there.
Right.
Um, and yeah, it's just this like I I was like, and at that point I was like, oh no, oh no, the peeping scene is so much worse,
Yes,
and
it
I've
is.
been shipping them the entire time
You shipped them
because
for the kids.
I shipped them for the kids. And
For what it's worth, this is the only time they do this with a main JoJo, essentially.
the like
The like,
which
oh, I'm gonna plot twist. This person you like is actually your family, basically.
oh cool.
Last
um
time they do this for a JoJo.
you know what, thank god.
Yeah.
I don't think I can live that down again. um
Hmm.
so they're at a funeral and everyone's being sad, and
Because
then
Joseph is dead.
Joseph is dead and they're staying at his grave, and then this ruckus happens like, You can't be here." He's like, "What do you mean I can't be here? Like
It's
my
my
entire family's
funeral.
here." Well, he didn't know it was his funeral. And he gets there and he's like, "Hey," and they're all like, "What are you doing here? You're dead." He goes, "Oh no, all this happened." And then, "Hey, by the way, I'm married to Susie Q." By the way, the song goes, "Susie Q, I love you, Susie
Yep.
Q." Fucking there that is. Uh
Yeah.
and he goes, "Hey, honey, didn't you like send them to stuff?" And she's like, "I forgot." And I'm like, You can't. No, 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 no. Go find the damn reporter." I think that is the word, like the most upset I was at like that being who he runs off with, because I'm like, she's ditzy and he's ditzy, and like like I'm waiting for Jotaro to be this really hot ditzy guy.
I'm just gonna say wait.
And it was a funny ending, and I liked that it wasn't like he was like hamming it up. It was like, no, I literally, I sent you, I wrote cards, I sent mail, I
Mhm.
telegrammed you, I tried calling. um
Oh
Susie,
yeah, and
like,
also
honey.
he has a robotic arm now provided by the
Oh
Germans.
yes. um and so it like then it like it does the flash forward thing, and it's like Ario
Where they all
Speedwagon lived a
know.
little bit. Yeah. um
So you hear
or
that Speedwagon lived a bit longer before he died surrounded by friends and family. Lisa ended up marrying a Hollywood scriptwriter. Joseph and Susie Q had a baby girl named Holly, so that was nice.
Did you
Smokey
catch?
Brown became the mayor of, I want to say, Atlanta, so that was
Yeah,
nice.
he was the first black mayor of Atlanta, I think.
Yeah.
Did you catch where they left Stroheim off at?
Oh, was it that he died in World War II?
He's he is like canonically the reason that all the Russians died in Stalingrad. Like the bloodiest battle. It's like he went into Russia to fight for the Germans
I
and was
mean,
like never seen from again. And I'm like, oh, he died during Stalingrad. All the Russians died trying to kill him. And I was like, oh, that's actually a fun way to send him out.
to be fair, a German guy with like a machine gun in his tummy comes at you. What is your answer to
Here's ammo, here's a gun, run at him. Whichever one dies first, pick up the other one's stuff. Go.
that?
Um yeah, it was I was so here for it. Um and Lisa also like tells Joseph everything.
Hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, cool! I have a mom that I wasn't trying to peep on." And yeah, now I wait with bated breath for part 7.
Part. Okay, well, you say part 7. You're gonna start part 3 at least. Come on, man.
So here's the reason I'm not going to start part 3
God damn
right
it.
now. Hear me out. I'm really liking One Piece,
Okay, fair.
and I
You're on
want to.
Marineford. I get it.
Yeah, I literally I have watched like 2 Kamen Riders, and I'm also like that's like my like I need to turn off my brain from One Piece.
Hmm.
Um, and I was thinking about this as we round this out. Mark, I have a question.
I might have an answer.
I know you're not a trading card fan.
I am not.
Have you ever watched any of the Yu-Gi-Ohs?
Yes.
Oh,
I
never
I have
mind.
seen. Here's the thing. I have seen original Yu-Gi-Oh like when it like came out. Like I was there when Duelist Kingdom was there.
Me too.
Yeah, and Battle City. Best
Okay.
arc, by the way. For all of the spin-offs, I have seen the dub. I haven't really watched much of the sub, though I know what happens for some of them. But I have seen GX, I have seen 5Ds, I have seen Zexel, and I have seen Arc 5, much to my dismay.
Okay.
um
Well,
that like while everybody else was like in the pandemic watching One Piece, I was in the pandemic watching the Yu-Gi-Oh spin-offs, and I only slightly regret it.
I okay. Man, that's a bummer.
Oh, were you
What
gonna tell
about
me the
Beyblade?
Beyblade? I don't remember anything about Beyblade.
It's okay. I was gonna be like, if we're watching JoJo, we should watch the Ultimate Stand battle system that is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my
And
god.
I was either gonna be like, we should watch up through Battle City,
Hmm.
or I was gonna be like, because the theme song is so bitchin', we should just watch
Oh,
Generation X.
you want to chill out with the crew in the schoolyard, fighting trouble but never working too hard?
I fucking love that song.
It's really good. And
it's
I
it's like
do
the
like
second
GX a lot.
it's like the second Yu-Gi-Oh opening, like not Battle City because that's still kind of got the same feel of the
Hmm.
like Yu-Gi-Oh um and Johto League Journeys are 2 theme songs that like I just keep when I'm like I'm having a rough day today
Do.
and I need something to pull me through. I go to those 2 theme songs.
They're really good.
Well that totally shoots that one in the head. I don't
Oh,
I
is it
was gonna
because
be like, I'm gonna
you
recommend an anime for you. Um, have you
Damn.
seen Metabot?
Metabot. I think I saw like an episode of Metabots when I was like sick at home, like not going to school, or like there was a snow day or something. I don't know. I
I'm
have
currently
not seen.
rewatching it on Amazon. It's one of the best dubs ever.
Okay, cool. I might like try and get into that. I don't know.
That's fine. I was only gonna recommend Yu-Gi-Oh because I was like, I know it and I thought it would be silly and fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we can still talk Yu-Gi-Oh.
we can, but that'll be next time because we're at 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But everyone, let us we are going to be delivering on all of our promises for
Jojo in One
uh
Piece.
well Jojo was for Extra Life.
Mm-hmm.
So Jojo will continue. Um I'm
Yay.
gonna it's gonna be a break for part 3
Mm-hmm.
because I want to get through One Piece, and then the new JoJo is gonna be airing, and I figured you and I could strike while the iron's hot.
Okay.
Um, and maybe by Extra Life, Mark will watch Trigun, the 24 episode, like 12 hours, not even of his life that he could give up. Really, just watch through episode 3, and you'll know a lot about me.
Okay, cool. I just need to
um,
the neurodivergence department in my head to fucking get into gear, honestly.
you're I, we right before this one comes out, you all will hear our take on the state of play. We have
Mm-hmm.
a busy year this year.
We do.
Um, a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to watch and consume. Um, but yeah, anything else for you?
I'm good, honestly.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's like 10:15 for you.
I know, right?
Yeah. Remember that you're all winners out there. Take care of your friends here and elsewhere. Keep it weird and have a fantastic rest of your night, everybody.